Hello, my fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 10 of The Best Blessed Life. I'm your best host, Kristen, and today's topic, life lesson session number uno. Or 1.5 if you count episode 2, kind of an intro to the whole life lesson concept. Before we get started, remember to have a paper and pencil handy just in case you want to take notes. Or if you have a bunch of questions, write them all down and then pop them in the comment section down below. Hopefully I'll be able to answer them for you. But remember also, I will promote your business. Send me your coffee mug. It does not have to be a coffee cup like this. I know I've always showed you this one when I've talked about it. And it's really because I am the biggest spiller of coffee. I hate to say I've probably spilled as much as I've drank in the last, I don't know, however many years. Probably since I was 18 or 19, but my coffee will taste so much better coming out of your business mug. Just FYI. My little, coffee/health fact is that if you drink 6 or more cups of coffee a day, and I thought I drank a lot, it will help prevent prostate cancer by 20% and cuts the lethal version by 60%. So, yummy coffee not only tastes great, but actually does a lot of beneficial, nutritional kinds of things. But what I want to do in this episode is kind of do a recap of the whole first 9, I guess. So to recap first, I'm going to talk about them and just kind of tap on what each one was about. So the first one, obviously, an introduction to myself and YouTube. And then I did secrets in the second episode, asked if I was weird, which I found out I am. In episode 3, in episode 4, found out I'm not a lucky person. Episode 5, I talked about being at my crossroads and kind of figuring out where I was headed next. Episode 6 was about adulting or not wanting to adult and what that meant. Episode 7, I talked about evaluating our bodies, kind of keeping them in fine-tune order. We talk about doing that with our computers and our cars. We really don't do that with ourselves. Episode 8, I talked about errors a little bit and what I felt like the channel meant to me. And episode 9 was just talking about confidence and investing in yourself. But I figured, since I've hit the big 2-handed, this many episodes, I would do a special episode about life lessons. And in this episode, I have a lot to cover. But before we get started, I want to thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I love that you're passing them along. Even if you feel like these episodes are not for you, but you know they might help someone else, please pass them along. Please continue to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the bell. I do love checking it, and I try not to check it a lot, but I do get excited. I have a surprise for you in a little bit, so hang in there. I mean, it's a little surprise. And then also, I want to remind you that episode 1 is now on Spotify, and that it is not the greatest episode to have on Spotify. I understand that because I realize it is very low audio quality, but I did want to start out with episode 1, so there was an intro in case you hadn't watched the videos. But I will continue to put them on Spotify. Episode 2 should be coming shortly. What I thought I would do was talk about what inspires me on an everyday basis. And I really do need that kind of inspirational thing to get me moving every day. So the first thing I always cover is how I need a positive word of the day. So today's word is aspire. And it means to direct one's hopes or ambitions towards achieving something. And that is all I'm trying to do on this channel, is to achieve something for someone every day. That is my goal. That is my ambition in life. And that is what keeps me truly going. And the first thing that inspires me daily is my walks. And I have 9,275, and I'm going to say only about 7,200 of that is actual purposeful walk to kind of figure out what's going to happen on the episode today. And then, so obviously another 2,100 is from just walking around prepping for today's episode. And I'm so grateful every day that I can actually walk and go do this kind of cathartic thing to to kind of be thankful for everything I have. And my family inspires me every day. My kids especially are always pushing me to keep going, as I do for them. And they inspire me just with their hopes and their dreams and their goals. And it is just something I strive to do for them that I hope they also look forward to doing for me. But I also find quotes very inspirational to me. And I tend to need them on the daily. Pinterest has become my inspirational friend. I use it to kind of silently, I don't know what I want to call it. Man, that's itchy. Just use them to keep my hopes up. So my first one is, before you speak, let your words pass through 3 filters. And as I just said probably last episode, that I have 0 filters, that this is something new I'm trying. A lot of times I just sit silently back and don't say anything. So the 3 filters are just 3 questions you need to ask yourself before you actually blurt it out. Is it true what you're going to say? Is what you're going to say necessary? Do you need to say this to someone? And 3, is it kind? Because in this whole process of making ourselves confident, you also have to take kind of a stock of how you say things to people, not just what you say to people. The second quote is, I want to inspire people. And I want someone to look at me and say, because of you, I didn't give up. I don't want them to say it to me. I don't even think I need to hear it like out loud. And I know it says I want to know that I inspire people, but I think that whole sincerest form of flattery. I can't think of the word. Just kind of not mimicking, not copying. I don't want people to be just like me. I just want to inspire them to be their best whomever. And then the third one is if you want to invest in something, with minimum risk and a guaranteed big return. Invest in yourself. Sorry, that didn't come out very loud. Sorry. So that being said, I have invested quite a few, I hate to say it, years in what I'm about to do, because if you think about the first 9 episodes you've watched, I've always had something covering my head. And that is because I have been working towards a hairdo, I guess, for lack of a better word, to kind of signify my, I don't want to say like warrior attitude, but kind of, I'm not going to put up with bullshit kind of attitude. So, that being said, I don't know, this is the surprise, so I don't know how surprised you are. Do. Oh, please stay. Oh, no, it didn't stay. So anyway, I have a mohawk. I mean, you can kind of tell on this side. The darn bandana made it fall. Oh, poop. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it. It's here. I worked really, really hard on it. And it fell. It's also supposed to be a gray, but I think it looks more like a purplish. But that could be just because I just did it. So anyway, surprise or not surprise, I don't know. But that's the surprise I had. But back to investing in yourself and inspiring not only other people, but maybe inspiring yourself to do something to make yourself feel more confident, is going back to getting to the whole workout thing. And I know I've had us evaluating ourselves, and I hope you continue to do that. I hope you continue to do the stretches that I showed you. Keeping yourself up nice and tall, checking your posture a lot. Your car is a really good place to do that because it's got a high seat back, and you can kind of check your shoulder position in your car by pushing them against the seat back. So please continue to do the stretches, and I hope that you check out, I think it's 7, 8, and 9, that I kind of talk about the stretching and go over it and actually show you a little bit of what they look like. So check those out as well. But I have also found a way for you to inspire yourself during these workouts, or bribe yourself, however you want to think about it. Excuse me. But what I want you to do is pay yourself to work out. Or not work out. I don't want to use that word. I have a phrase that I wrote down because I knew I was going to forget how I wanted to say it. So I wanted you to bribe yourself without using food, right? Every time you do something great for your health, that includes keeping track of any physical activity on your smartwatch or your phone, loading an app to keep track of your food, starting a journal, those kinds of things. All of those deserve a kind of a reward. Get you motivated. So start a jar. I don't know what you want to call it. Your health motivator, your ticket to Tahiti. I don't know how you want to put it. Jar. But put it kind of in the opposite direction of the kitchen, for one thing. I want you to walk away from the kitchen. If you do find the unnecessary task of buying junk food for whatever reason, make sure to keep that in the kitchen and keep healthy snacks close to you. So granola bars, your dried fruits and nuts, seeds, those kinds of things. Beef jerky is also very good for you and high in protein. So those kinds of things, dried, like trail mix is a great snack to have handy right next to you in little baggies maybe, ready to eat. Instead of having to get up and walk to... So I'm saving you steps. But I'm not... I don't know. Maybe you should put it far away. But easier to get to than the icky food for you. So paying yourself, I mean, I want you to pay yourself a pretty significant amount for everything you do. So, like, if you're the type of person you know you can only work out, say, 3 times a week, but say you get 2 hours in, that deserves quite a bit of money, if you ask me. That would be like a $5 bill, or if that's not a big amount of money for you, maybe whatever is significant to you monetarily. I want you to pay yourself that amount, but I wrote down that I also want you to pay yourself overtime. So say you're not only that 2 hours of working out specifically, but say you also get, say, 3,000 steps and you ate salmon with a salad and some long grain rice or something to that effect. So that, say, I would say is overtime. So in real life, you're at work, a lot of places pay time and a half. So whatever you're paying yourself for the significant health moves in your life, you should take that and cut it in half and then add that half, because you deserve to understand what working out pays you. I can't explain it quite right because I want you to think of it as your if you can see what is if you can tactfully hang on to what workouts do for you, and you see in that jar all the money that you saved not going to the doctor, not sitting in the waiting room, not waiting for the doctor to call you back all the time. Though time is money. Time is money, and you deserve to pay yourself for these things. The other thing I think you should get paid for when working out or moving towards a healthier lifestyle is holidays. Because holidays are stressful, and we all eat when we're stressed. But we should also be able to incorporate a good amount of healthy habits, as well as maybe keeping a little portion of bad habits for those special holidays like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. Those are all big calorie holidays, and frankly, being in the times that we are, we've already probably overstayed our welcome in the kitchen, at the refrigerator, at the junk food. I would say, first of all, if you really want to get rid of the junk food, don't buy the junk food. And if you really have to have sweets, I think I talked about this in episode 2, make your own. I mean, I'm not saying cut any sugar. And I know this sounds crazy, but this is a good way to start to make yourself think healthier. If you skip that cookie, candy, cake, pie aisle that is loaded with preservatives, commercial brands, packaged for on the shelves, and you shop directly from the bakery, you at least know what's in there. You know what's in that item. So if you're going to punish yourself, you should at least punish yourself with things you know how to pronounce. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. You should be able to pronounce your punishments. Excuse me, I just spit everywhere. But I just want to make it seem effortless because that's what it should be. Life should not be this complicated. We're making it too hard. Let's take a few steps back and take a few deep breaths and realize that, these things about eating healthy, it doesn't have to be all about I'm on the keto diet or I'm on the paleo or whatever. If that works for you, that's great. But I also want you to understand that you should realize or you should let your body realize when it's hungry on its own. It should start to function on its own. And then when I say truly enjoy your food is like to let it settle, let yourself taste it, not shovel it in. I know we're all like, and I'm the worst one. I will confess to you I cannot, and I have tried, and I'm gonna keep trying. I'm not gonna say cannot. I am so far unsuccessful in slowing down my eating. And I keep telling my kids to slow down, but if I can't slow down, so I'm working on that. I think things like putting your fork down, or, I think sometimes people say 30 chews of each bite. But I just want you to also incorporate water a lot more into your... I know I talk about coffee, and coffee is water. It does count. But it does have caffeine in it. So, water is what is going to flush you out and make you feel less bloated, less tired, less stressed, less saggy or groggy. I guess saggy is not a good word. Groggy. It is a detoxifier in a way, as long as you use it the way it should be used. And I will confess that I need to drink more water. But if I'm going to get 6 or more cups of coffee in a day so I don't get prostate cancer, I don't think there's any room for more. I'm just going back to the fun fact there. But knowing, we're going to go back to the little jar of money here for a second because I got off topic there. But knowing that you're saving that and not going to the doctor, like I said, I want you to see that money. And when you get to your goal, or if you want to think of it in yearly increments or half-year increments, I want it to be a pretty significant amount that you buy something truly significant with it. So that when you look at that item, you know that you've earned it. Okay? I want you to know how important that item is to you and how proud you should be for having really made a conscious effort to put your health first. Now, the other thing I want you guys to realize is that just because we are adults and we are people that have to take better care of ourselves and are more probably logically ones to go to the doctor, there are things we can do to de-stress and make ourselves less susceptible to going to the doctor. So my other fun fact for the day is about using your imagination. In this quote, or this fun fact, they called it daydreaming, but I think of it more as just using your creativity. But they call it daydreaming is linked to solving the difficult problems. The more you daydream, the better you are at dealing with complex situations. So I think when I think about being grown up and being an adult. I don't think that I am, because I still use my kind of, I don't want to say little kid imagination. I don't have like an imaginary friend or anything. I don't want you to think that. But I do use the, what do I want to say? I do use my daydreaming skills, I guess, to go through different scenarios. And I think that's kind of important, because you can play out everything and figure out, so that you kind of I am at a loss for words today. You want to make the situation seem less daunting. So if you go through the whole process and daydream about every case scenario, you're less susceptible to being stressed about it, and will more likely take a more calm and rational approach. And the last thing I want to say before I go for today is I have a task for you. Homework, challenge, however you want to put it. During your day, I just want you to stop what you're doing. Think about someone or something that makes you extremely happy. Or think about a past memory or a picture or something of that nature. And let that thought carry you through the rest of your day. And think about maybe that same thought when you wake up in the morning. Or if you think about that thought before you go to sleep, a lot of times you do end up dreaming about that person or thing. And maybe you wake up with that same happy thought in your head. So I want you to start your day with a happy thought, along with all those stretches you're supposed to be doing before you get out of bed every day. Because I promise you they will help you feel, and I'm not even joking, taller. And if you're tall already, maybe you don't want to be taller. I don't know. But I don't want you to think that I haven't tried any of this stuff. I pretty much do this stuff, maybe not every day. I do have my days where I feel sorry for myself and have really bad flare-ups and things. So I'm not this happy-go-lucky every day. But I stop and take a snippet of time, or maybe it's just something I've done or I've achieved that I'm proud of that makes me happy. So you could probably use that as an example. But I want you to take that and try and start a trend of waking up the next day with that same happy little snippet in your brain. Okay? So I do want you to go have a good day. Go out and do great things. Be your best self and live your best, blessed life. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.